Hello and welcome along to Christchurch Xscape's podcast, Locked In With. My name's Ash Gibson. In each one of these episodes, we're going to be chatting to either somebody we know or we might not know so well to get some insight into their life, particularly within the context of lockdown, which is this big, dark, cloaky thing that has surrounded us for 12 months, and we're probably going to have it for a little bit longer, and we've either come to love it or hate it. And we hope that in talking about it, that we can share in your pain, or you can share in our pain, or maybe it will just pass half an hour of your life, something like that. Today, I'm locked in with Bella Shakeshaft, who now lives in Hemsworth, but hails from Texas. Hello, Bella.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming along and talking to us. That's awesome. When I think of Texas, I look at it through wide eyes, and I imagine big open spaces, awesome, huge high rises, cowboys, things like that. Am I right? Is that right? Is that how it is?
I mean, there are bits of that everywhere, but it's not that special, really. Everyone's always like, why are you here? But if you're from a place, it doesn't seem that exciting, really. So Texas is just like a normal place.
You've not dented my view of it. I still imagine the cowboys. I still imagine the wide open spaces, the opportunities, and all of that sort of stuff. Could you give us? Well, that might be a good question, actually. You said, "Why am I here?" That might be a bit of a curveball, but yeah, how did that happen? How did you get over to the UK?
Well, I came over in 2015 as a gap year youth worker, and then ended up marrying an Englishman. So.
Oh, man.
Now I'm here to stay.
Yes, that's great. That's movie script stuff. That's a great answer. Could you give us 5 words that would describe you, Bella? So maybe this might be helpful. You've been at Christchurch for a little while, but if anyone's listening and they kind of half know you a bit, this might fill them in a little bit more as to what you're like. So 5 words. Okay,
so the first one I went with is indecisive. So coming up with 5 words to describe myself, I was like, ooh, what about this one? No, I don't know. What about this? And I listened to the one with Matt, and I was like, oh, he took it in a different direction. Maybe I should do that. And I was just having trouble. I was like, indecisive.
Own it, be yourself. Indecisive is the first.
That's the word. One of the words for me. And then
I've not seen that, I should say. I have. That doesn't come across. You seem pretty assertive, but there you go.
Well, I think it depends on the situation. Yeah, if I don't care that much one way or another, then I'm just like, oh, I don't know. But sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing.
There you go. Then, indecisive, number 1.
Yeah. The second word is what I put Enneagram 9. So people who know Enneagram will know a lot about me if I say that I'm a 9.
I think I'm a 9.
I think you are as well. That's what Jude has told me.
I think I'm a 9. Okay, yeah. And I'm glad you filled that in, because from the initial word Enneagram, which you should really... Can you remember the name of the book? It's a great book. It's a great lockdown read.
It's The Road Back to You.
The Road Back to You, and you'll find out who you are and why you're so brilliant and why you're so weird. I think that would, those kinds of things. Right, okay. So there's that second word, Enneagram?
Enneagram 9 is...
Enneagram 9. It's a bit of a cheat.
It's called the Peacemaker. So we can say that instead of 2 words.
So you're an indecisive peacemaker.
Yeah.
So far. 3 more. Go.
The third one I chose is warm, which is a bit ironic because it's really cold at the moment. And I'm always cold. But I feel like I try to be quite... Can you hear my dog?
well, I hoped dog and not stomach.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Iggy, relax.
That's okay. That's good value for the podcast.
Yeah.
I heard the noise, and initially I thought there's been times when my stomach has made that sound of from deep within the earth kind of yelp.
Yeah, not my stomach, just my dog.
And initially I went stomach, and then I thought, oh no, there's Iggy, so yeah, that's okay. So third word.
Third word is warm, because I try to be, I don't know, I try to make people feel comfortable, and I like when people are with me, I want them to feel welcome and invited and that sort of thing. So like kind of a warm person, if you know what I mean.
You are that. You've got that one down. That's very accurate. You're a warm sort.
My next one, I chose compassionate, like / overly sensitive.
Yes.
And just like,
is that in keeping with being a 9?
Yeah, I think so. Just being, caring about people and things that are going on in the world, but just kind of sometimes it's too overwhelming.
Yeah, I get that. Sometimes it tips, doesn't it? Sometimes there's a sense in which you are looking out and I want to care, and then it is too much to manage sometimes if you go too far that way. Being overly sensitive, that's the balance of a 9, I think.
Yeah.
And I guess if you've not read this book, that won't make much sense. But have a look at the book. That is very really accurate. If you're an overly sensitive person, you're also a compassionate person. And again, I would say that's true. But you've used more than you've already on like 7 words.
I know. So that's why I'm indecisive, because I couldn't choose.
We'll forgive you being indecisive. And your 5th word?
If you put hyphens in between, it's 1 word. I put a bit weird.
Okay, I'll let you off with it, but you cheated right. You cheated right the way through. So what qualifies you? What aspects of yourself have you seen and you thought, yeah, that's weird?
I don't know. I feel like I just have sometimes a bit of a dark sense of humor and like just a bit weird. I think everyone's a bit weird, but
you might just be an extra little bit.
Yeah.
Weird. Maybe you're a bit more self-aware.
Yeah, I mean, I moved to Castleford from Texas, so that's a bit weird, isn't it?
That's what everybody in Texas will say. That's weird. Yeah. But I get it. I think Castleford is amazing. And I'm so glad you came. All right, we've got 5 words. They're brilliant. If you didn't know Bella, I think you think of those 5 words and talk to her about her weird, indecisive, peacemaking nature and about her dog.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So we might have covered this a little bit already, but it's a really helpful question. In 1 sentence, how did you come to be where you are right now?
Well, I kind of used, when you asked me earlier, I used my answer that I prepared for this one.
Yeah, all right, yeah. So I was thinking it's because you came over and you found this you're very handsome, very English.
Yeah.
Just straight out of a period drama almost, isn't it? It's just Mr. What do you call him? Mr. Darcy sort of.
Oh, I don't know if I'd call him Mr. Darcy. But
I don't actually even know which one Mr. Darcy is. It's just the first period handsome Englishy word that came.
He's gonna be really happy that you said that. He's gonna.
Well, that's good.
He's gonna love it.
That's a win for me. Oh, so you married Ben and you're here now.
I'm here. Yeah.
Smashing. And so, how did you get? So I know that you're here. How did you get to Christchurch?
Well, originally Ben is from Reading. Then he moved up here to be closer to me, which is maybe that's a Mr. Darcy thing to do.
It's pretty Mr. Darcy, yeah.
I mean, if I'm honest, I haven't seen that film or read the book in ages, so I don't really remember what he's like. But anyway, so he moved up here to be closer to me. And then we started looking for a church, and we went to one that was nice, but didn't feel at home there. And then found Christchurch and just immediately knew that these are our people. We like these guys. That's
lovely. That's nice to hear. So if you're listening in and you're a Christchurch person, we're her people. And we're so glad. People. We are so glad that you came, Ben and Bella. Great to have you. I want you to, and it's very unlikely, but imagine a world where out of the blue, about a year ago, or just over a year ago, a disease, a bug, so contagious comes along, it spreads so incredibly quickly that everybody needs to stay at home. You can't imagine it, but imagine it. Imagine that, and then imagine thinking that it might last another 6 months or something like that. Oh. So, who are you in lockdown with? Who's locked in with you?
I'm here with my husband Ben and my overprotective mutt that we love, Iggy.
And so there's the 3 of you.
Yeah, just the 3
of you for the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Sticking it out. Good for you. Amazon can bring you one more delivery, and they're bringing lots of deliveries. They've done very well out of lockdown.
Yeah.
Knowing that you might be in lockdown forever, what would that one last delivery be? What would Amazon bring? It's got to get in the van.
Okay, so I have a clarifying question. I could still go to like the shop and stuff, right? Or is it just, do I have nothing else?
No, you can go to the shop, the Amazon shop.
No, like
you could get
the grocery store and go get things.
Okay, seeing as it's you, Bella, and you like to twist all the rules, which I'd never noticed when we've had a games night with you, and I've never noticed that you did that. But yeah, go. What would you get?
Well, first I thought, is this like I can't go anywhere else or get anything else? So I thought loads of butter because I've been into baking, and so it's like quite a good hobby to keep up. So lots of butter so I can continue baking. But then cool. I thought if I can go to a shop and I can get butter there, then don't need to buy thousands of pounds.
I'll be honest, I was thinking maybe hot tub or maybe I don't know, encyclopedia of the world, but you've gone with butter, and you are I benefit from this, an incredible baker. So then I'd encourage you in that, get some more. Get on the phone now, get some more butter. But then
my other answer was a Kindle. So I could just download books and books and books and not have to send out to Amazon for more books.
Butter and books would get you through lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice. Has there been a song that's got you through? Has there been a song that in lockdown has come to the fore and been that go-to song that you'll, in a couple of years, you'll look back and go, oh yeah, that song, that was a help?
Honestly, I mean, I have listened to music, but there hasn't been like a song that I've just listened to over and over. But I have listened to loads of podcasts. And so I have like a favorite podcast that I would like to put instead of my favorite song.
Share the podcast. Yeah. Again, cheating. You've cheated. We're now on question 7 and you've cheated right the way through, just so you know. Okay, go on.
It's not cheating. It's like, okay, anyway.
It's embracing the interview. Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's like taskmaster, thinking outside of the box and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
So there's one called Off Menu, and it's with James Acaster and Ed Gamble, who are comedians. And it doesn't seem like it would be funny, but it is really funny. It's usually other comedians on their podcast, and they have a dream menu. And James is like a make-believe genie, and he can get you whatever meals you want. So you have to say your favorite starter, main course, and dessert that you've ever had. And they basically just talk about that for an hour.
Wow.
It doesn't sound funny, but it is.
Because I know James Acast. Well, I've seen him on the TV and things, and yeah, I think he could. I don't know the other guy, but I think he could make that funny. But it doesn't sound like. It sounds like a hard sell at the interview. This is our idea for a podcast, but that works. So try that out. Yeah. That's the recommended. That's what's got you through then. Yes. Off Menu with James
Whenever
Acaster.
I'm out walking the dog or on a run or something, I usually listen to a podcast. And so I think I've listened to podcasts more than music the past year.
Yeah, I think that might be a lot of people's stories. I think we need a story in our ears to give us a bit of light entertainment, don't we?
Yeah.
Or give us a bit of hope. Those kinds of things. Next question. Who would you let into your... So you've got Iggy and Ben in your bubble currently. You can have anybody alive. Anyone alive. Who would you let into your bubble?
You see, I thought about this, and I was like thinking...
I'm not going to let you have any more cheats here. This is one...
Oh, no. I was like, maybe I'll go with someone famous, someone funny. I don't know, something like that. But then in the end, I just wanted to choose my parents because it's been so long since I've seen them. But they're married, so they're like one.
They are
so
one.
Will you allow that?
I can't. Yeah, I can't not allow that.
Yeah. I think they'd be offended if I chose one over the other.
You must. That must be tough, right?
Yeah. I think we've had 3 visits planned thinking, surely it'll be done by now. We'd had to cancel all of them. Yeah. So it's been tough. So I just want my parents.
Well, that is sweet, and I'm not gonna be all.
Have mercy. Have mercy.
Yeah. You can have that. Yeah, that's so tough, isn't it? Right. Okay. A couple more questions. You can have a Zoom meeting, and everybody's a bit zoomed out, but this Zoom meeting goes beyond the boundaries of most Zoom meetings. You can invite 3 Bible characters to join you in this Zoom meeting. And I'm already thinking she's gonna like have the tribe of Judah or something, and just so she can cheat. Who would you have with you, and why would you have it? Why would you have those people, and what would you call the Zoom meeting? There you go. Who, why, what?
Well, this one I actually stuck to the rules, and I have 3 separate people. That's it.
Bless you, Bella.
So the first one I chose was Jonah.
Wow.
Partly because what would it be like to be eaten by a fish, like to be in the belly of a whale or whatever? That'd be
It's got to
interesting.
be the first question, hasn't it, right?
Yeah. And then second, I kind of relate to him because he just wants to run away from his problems and not listen to what God is saying. And I want to do that a lot of times. So I feel like connected to him.
Yeah, I think it's a great. I'm so glad that story's in the Bible. We've got him to learn from, wanting to run away. I'm like, yep, yeah, I have a bit of empathy with Jonah. Okay, yeah. So Jonah's on the call.
Next one is Mary Magdalene.
Wow.
Because she is the one who like noticed that the stone was rolled away and Jesus appeared to her first out of everyone. And she has, for a woman in that time, quite a big role in the Bible, like with Jesus. And I feel like if it was set in like modern day times or something, we'd see a lot more from her, because back in the day, we didn't hear very much from women or their stories and stuff. And so I'm sure there's much more that she had to say that I would like to know. And
I think because of the times that it is a huge statement, isn't it? That this woman, Mary Magdalene, was the first people to get there. Yeah, I'm sure she's got loads more testimony and loads more depth and loads more. It's a great shout, loads more to reveal. But because of the times in which it's written in, because of that, just the fact that it's a woman, and it's this woman that is the first person to attest to the resurrection, of Jesus. It's amazing. Yeah, that's 2 great shouts. And the third one.
The third one, I think Matthew chose him as well, but Peter, because honestly, he just makes me laugh. He's such like a, can be really dense sometimes. And just like he misses the point of what Jesus is saying over and over and over again. But God still used him, even though he is a bit of a dumb guy sometimes.
Yeah, he's almost one of the guys, those guys that verbalizes what everybody else is thinking, isn't it? It feels like he says that on behalf of the disciples and everybody else. Yeah.
So, he's just so human. And I relate to that too, because I also am so human.
Yeah, particularly he sees Jesus walking on the water and he goes, "This is my savior, this is my guy." And he's got the amount of faith to go, he said I can do what he does, and I'm going to take him up on that. And he's also human enough to crash into the sea. And he's so relatable, isn't he? You think, I either have that faith at times, or I want to have that faith at times, and also I crash into the sea, loads of times. Is another one I'm thankful for. That would be a good chat, Bella.
Yeah.
And that would be. I don't. What? Another one?
Oh no, not another one. I was just going to say what I was going to call it. I probably spent the most time thinking about what I was going to call it, trying to come up with something like witty and clever.
Okay.
But I couldn't. So I just decided on the Party Time Gang. Because I just thought they'll have fun stories. We'll have a good Party Time Gang.
The party. How long did you spend thinking of the Party Time Gang?
I was thinking for a long time, and I even thought about like choosing the characters based on what I could name it. Like I could choose someone with like 2 people who started with A and then another B, and we could be ABBA. Bless
you for giving this question that much of your time. That's great. The Party Time Gang. We'll go with that. What have you learned, Bella, in lockdown? What are you not going to do in the future? What have been your reflections? What are you going to start? What are you going to stop doing? What are you going to start doing?
I mean, I think I just learned, I think it's something that I learned over and over and over again, is that I just need to hold on to hope. Because in a lot of times, in so many situations, whether it's political or like health-wise or just personal life, it seems like there's everything possibly going wrong. And it can be, like we were saying earlier, overwhelming and just not knowing what to do with yourself because everything seems hopeless. But then I need to remember to just hold on to the hope that God is making a way through this somehow and has his hand in all of it.
And you need to hold on to that.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's exactly how it feels, right? It feels like, I'm sure I know this and I believe this, but I need to actively make the effort to hold it, cherish it, and, put it at the start of my day or before my troubles and anxieties and that kind of thing. Yeah, that's a great descriptor, is that, because it's there. I feel like for Christians it's there, and it's something that's going to get us through, but at the same time you need to go, right, I need to actively grab onto this hope. That's a great insight. That's been the learning process. Just keep hoping.
Yeah, well, and I think more oftentimes than not, I just forget about it, and then I end up feeling depressed and anxious and worried and feeling like everything in the world is going wrong and nothing is ever going to be good again. And so, yeah, just remembering that hope and like letting it fill me with peace and confidence and faith, because otherwise I'd be having a breakdown every single day instead of like once a week.
Yeah. So the last, I think maybe have you half answered the last question? How has faith played a part in this?
Yeah. Kind of continuing on from that, just the hope that comes from God, not just like, willy-nilly, oh, I hope this works out. Like the hope that God is faithful and he's promised to be with us and carry us through things. And all the verses in the Bible saying like, don't be anxious and, look at the lilies in the field and how much he cares for them, how much more he cares for us. And actually thinking about those, because those are all the verses that people have like on their walls and little platitudes that people say. But if you really think about them, it's just so powerful. And without that, even if I don't intentionally think about it every day, knowing that the hope that God has is different from our hope is like what's getting me through this craziness.
That's a great place to finish, Bella. It's a real hope. It's worth hanging on to. And I'm so glad it's got you through so far. Let me encourage you, if you're listening, to keep holding on to that hope too. Thank you so much for joining me, Bella, and it's been a pleasure to be locked in with you.
Yeah, sorry for cheating so much.
It's all good. Thanks for listening, and listen again next time.